Right, hello everybody, and finally welcome back to a match preview after that shit international break, which I cannot stand. I know you cannot either.
No, I hate it.
But this Saturday, 1st of October, Sunderland versus Preston North End at the Stadium of Light. Paul.
Yep.
Preston.
Right, listen, it's so hard. Like you say, 10 games in the season, normally the league settles down and you get to find out where teams are, on merit, where they're meant to be. Preston North End currently in 15th. Last season they finished 13th, sorry. But like the draw specialist, Stephen, they've drew 6 this season.
Yeah, 1-2, drew 6, lost 2. But it's like, I've just been looking at the league table before, and although yes, they're 15th and we're 5th, there's only 3 points separating us. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're only 5 points above the relegation zone. It's madness. How close? I mean, I always say I'm not going to focus on the league table, not until we get close to Christmas. But it's very, very tight at the minute. Like the way the league started. But I think Preston, with who they brought in and the players they've got, I suppose they should. I think they're all expecting to do a bit better than what they have been.
Definitely. Well, like you say, Parrott, who we were heavily linked. I mean, you were talking before this. Parrott, who chose to get to Preston North End, as we were heavily linked with. Like you said just before this video, he hasn't scored yet, Stephen, and they've only scored 3 in 10 games.
They have. It's like you say, Parrott, who chose to go to Preston North End instead of us, who we were heavily linked with. He hasn't really scored in the league this season. You know what I mean? You see what I did there?
Aye.
His name's Parrot.
Aye.
Cut it off here.
So
you see what I did there?
me.
Did anyone see that? Did anyone see that? Hey!
They've missed it. They've missed these jokes and carry on.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I bet you're all thinking, God, I wish it's an international break again.
I know. Well, here it's been 10 days. 10 days since we've uploaded.
But no, sorry, go on, Paul.
No, go on.
We'll see. Yeah, they've signed that tripod who they were all expecting big things from. If you remember at the start, the end of last season, or when we started getting linked with him, me and Paul actually both said his stats now of last season don't really jump out at us because he was playing for MK Dons who were firing and scoring goals last season, and he still only got 10 goals or something.
I think that was from the wing.
It was from the wing, but you're playing as a forward, right. as a winger's forward. If you look at our wingers this season, you know what I mean. Jacques, he's on 10 games, he's on 3 goals already.
Exactly.
So I think they're expecting a lot of things from him. The only forward they've got that has scored is that Jacobson. So I suppose you could say he's one to watch because he's got 1 goal.
Well, he scored, I think, what was it? 16, I think, last season. I'm not 100% on that, but he's a Danish international. He's
Danish under 21s. So he's a young
he's a threat. I think he's been called up to the. He's actually been called up to the World Cup.
Well, another forward they've got is Ched Evans.
Aye.
We all know him from where he got framed for rape and things like that. He hasn't scored yet either. But like I said, they've only scored 3 goals in the league this season. Some team is due with scoring off them. Like I said, I just hope it's not us.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think it's going to be, but some team is going to get walloped off them.
Definitely. Well, I think our confidence is key here. The lads are on a high. The way they dismantled Reading so easily, the way they put an absolute amazing performance in against Watford, who's going to be there and thereabouts come the back end of the season for promotion. Like they just sacked their manager as well. Did you say that
again?
So like I say, Stephen, the lads are full of confidence. You've got Geeson digging mint for Costa Rica in the World Cup. Scored 2 goals. Today
he got rested. He was an unused substitution today, which is good.
That's what we need.
That means when he comes back, he's going to be nice and rested and fresh.
And Dennis Cirkin's on the grass again in training.
Yes, he is indeed.
So that's a nice thing to see.
Geeson Bennett got rested. Today. I think they were playing Azerbaijan or something daft like that. The Costa Rica won 2-1. But he's been rested, so when he comes back, he's going to be nice and fresh. Still don't think he'll start. I think he'll still be used as an impact player, which is fine at the minute.
No, I totally agree with that, Stephen. Ella Sims more. I think he'll be back as well because, like you say, he only hurt his big toe, so hopefully he'll be back. But do you know what? The way the team played, that obviously beautiful goal they scored against Reading. Would you bring Sims on as a sub? Or would you obviously start with a striker?
It's a difficult one. I mean, we're doing this preview very early because of time restraints. Like basically, this is Tuesday night when we're doing this because for the rest of the week we kind of get to see each other because of work commitments and things like that. So we haven't seen who's going to be available and things like that. But we know Sims will be back and we know Cirkin will be back. Will they go straight back in the team? I don't think so. No. I don't think Cirkin will because at least he's definitely cemented his place there for now after his last 2 performances. Only 2 performances. He's been class. One thing, obviously, since you've seen us, Michu played his first game in a Sunderland shirt for the under-23s on Friday. Right. Got 2 yellow cards, which inevitably got him sent off. But if you remember rightly, Jan Villa, he had the same start in his Sunderland shirt. He got sent off and he turned out to be an alright player.
Oh, he was amazing. Another thing, Stephen, that I picked up on was that Preston love yellow cards. I think they've had 20 odd yellow cards just in the short 10 games and a red card.
Well, I think a lot of that coming out of frustration because they cannot score.
You cannot not.
So in my footballing days, when you cannot score, I mean, I was a forward, so when you cannot score, I used to get frustrated. I used to get yellows and reds as a centre forward because I used to kick the defenders all over because I couldn't get past them.
But anyway, Stephen, listen, like you've said, Preston, the Jew hammering of a team.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not us. Like I said, Preston, the only problem they've got is scoring goals. So when they sort that out, they might push up further up the table. Do you want to do your score prediction, Stephen? I'm going first because you went first last time.
You did actually, but no man, go on.
Right, I'm going to go for a Sunderland 2-0 win. Comfortable, nice clean sheet for Patterson. I think we're going to be too much for them going forward. The way the players are moving this ball now, it's like Premier League quality. 2-0 win.
I'm going to go 3-1.
I'm back.
I'm going to go back to 3-1. They can't score, but we also seem to. We do like to concede. We've conceded 11 goals this season, so their strikers are firing on all cylinders. But like I say, they're going to start scoring eventually. But I think we're full of confidence. And let's see the youngers we've got coming off the bench in the last game against Watford. Abdullah Bar looked mint when he came off the bench. Geeson Bennett obviously came off the bench, got the goal. We know Amad Diallo looks class. Mitchell's not going to be involved, I don't think, but we'll have to wait and see. And I've just noticed I keep on doing that, and if he keeps on putting them fart freaking noises in when I do it, I'm going to freaking nut him.
No, I'll leave it off of this
But no, one thing about Preston as well, their goalkeeper is a friggin' Maggie reject. He's a Geordie boy, so hopefully if any of the Sunderland players know that, they're going to be gunning for him, but I mean, they'll be gunning for any keeper, you know what I mean? I'd just like to mention him because he's a barcode.
Right, if you've noticed that there's some of the editing might be a bit off, and this is because our light keeps going off, and I'm going to be having a nightmare edit and sort that out later. We're going to have to quickly wrap this up because it's absolutely pissing down now. But remember to put your score predictions in. That was mine and Stephen's predictions of the game. And if you get it right, we'll mention you in the next match preview. People who got them right, your names will be popping up on the screen now. But obviously, we've had to quickly do this match preview. It's not the best, but nonetheless, we've had to come out and do it in the pissing down the rain. And
regardless of what the weather's going to be like on Saturday, we will all be here. You're saying Dan Neil did a video crying out for get as many people in the stadium as possible on Saturday. I think there'll be 40,000 there on Saturday, and hopefully it'll be a great mint atmosphere.
We'll be there early.
We'll be there early. We'll be there early, but we'll just see how it goes. I'm confident we are going to get a win because Preston cannot score. We seem to like scoring at the minute, and I think we're going to be full of confidence and full of energy. Looking forward to it.
It's all about the team, Stephen. The young, they're hungry, they're raw, they just want to impress, and they're dying to get on the pitch. And you know what? They didn't look out of place in the Championship.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. International break, I kind of stand it. So I'm glad getting back to watching Sunderland week in, week out.
Totally agree.
For those of you who don't know, the Millwall game that got postponed because of the death of Queen Elizabeth II has been rescheduled for the 3rd of December, half-12 kick-off on a Saturday. How are the lads?
Right, everybody, hit the thumbs up.
Subscribe if you're new.
And we'll see you in the match vlog on Saturday.
Cheers later. How are the lads?
Oh, timed that perfect.